Hello everyone, and welcome to this introductory video and quick demo of our app, the packing list. So first of all, regarding the setup for the packing list, there is a number of tables that help us define what kind of containers we're handling, what the various setups are. And to start off, the first thing we need to do is define a handling unit type. A handling unit type can be seen as a category of containers. As you can see here, we have various types already defined. This could be a bag, a box, a shipping container, or generically a pallet. For the most part, this handling unit type is used to group handling units together, as well as define some basic configuration like a number series for the single handling unit that will be then created, namely the package or the single pallet will receive a number, and you can set up the number series to be used to generate these handling units. You can also specify that a number series for a given handling unit type needs to follow the SSCC specification, that is 18th length number for a pallet according to the GS1 standard. Next, we're going to define the packaging materials. And we'll find them here. The packaging materials are the single instances of a packaging material. This could be a cardboard box. We have various measures here, a shipping container, an e-pallet, or a wooden chest. We can create a new one if we like to do so. Let's say chap pallet. Here on the packaging material card, we specify a unit of measure. These are pieces. And the handling unit type code we've seen before, to which this material applies. In this case, it's a chap pallet, so it belongs to the group of the pallets. And we also have the possibility to specify if the dimensions of this packaging material. I know, let's put some numbers in here. Okay, that's about it. So with these two setups in place, we can start generating or using the packing list. For this, we will go to a sales order. Let's see if we can have. Let's create a new sales order. Let's go to new. Let's pick a customer. Okay, so here we go to. Let's insert some items. Then we have another line. Some more here. And the last one here. Okay, with this sales order in place, we can now go to create the packing list. We can go to Actions Warehouse Packing List, which will open the packing list for this specific document. We've seen this here on the sales order, but the same action is available as on the warehouse shipment as well, and also on the purchase order for inbound packing list for assigning the various materials, the various handling units that are shipped by the vendor. Here on this page, we have a variety of methods how to create and compile the contents of a single handling unit, of a single box, package, pallet, whatever it is. The first one I will show you is the method of suggesting the contents of a package according to a setup we will see afterwards. So this button here, suggest line, is one method of compiling this packing list. As you can see, the system has provided me with a suggestion of 3 wooden chests containing 5 back wheels each. Now, why does the system know how this is composed? This is because of another setup table called the package instructions. That is a matrix where we can define for each item. In this case, I have one item defined, which is the one item we've seen before, the back wheel. How and in what way this item needs to be packaged. This can be defined either on a single item level, which we've did in this case, or on an entire item category. And it can also be specified by single customer or vendor. So you have the ability to define different packaging setups for different items for different customers. This could be a single customer, or same as with the items, you can also choose a different posting group. In this case, it's the customer posting group. For now, this is okay with us. We can specify which packaging material is used to package this item. In this case, we have chosen wooden chest. That's also the reason why wooden chest was chosen. And the quantity per packaging material indicates how many items in base quantity fit into one box of this type. In this case, 5 wooden wheels each fit into one wooden chest. And as we can see, we had on our, let's go back to the sales order, we had 15 back wheels on our order, and therefore, if we go to the packing list, that's the reason why 3 wooden chests each were suggested. The second way to assign a box or a handling unit to a document is by using an already created handling unit. For this, we can go to the list of handling units, where we can see a number of different handling units that are already present in our system. They could be created from different processes. For example, I could have purchased one. That is, if the vendor already submitted the order and I tracked the handling units inbound, which means that I already loaded the handling units. I would see them here. In this case, you can see the status indicates that these 2 boxes have been loaded into the system via purchase order. Or I could create them, let's say, from production. So I could post an output and directly create a handling unit in this way. So here, for example, we could use, we could take an already existing handling unit and assign it to this document. So another method is using this already existing handling unit and then assign it to this document. So for this, we go to assign handling unit, and I will take, let's say, this one here. As you can see, we have a pallet which has an SSCC number as ID, which contains our item. It's the 1215. We'll select this one, and the system has created this handling unit, assigned it to the document, which had, in this case, you can see we have a pallet which contains a box which contains an item. So this is the method you use when handling units usually are produced in production or are already purchased from a vendor, and you ship them directly as is from the entrance point of the handling unit. And the last method you can use to create the packing list is by creating handling units and their contents on the fly directly from this page on the document. In this case, you can choose to create a new handling unit. The system asks you what type of handling unit to create, which is the packaging material to use. In this case, we will use a cardboard box 40 per 30. It creates this new handling unit. In this case, it's empty, no contents. And then we go to add content. And we will see a list of all items that are on the source document that are still requiring to be assigned to a packing item, to a handling unit. So we go to it, and here we can see the quantity total on the document, the quantity that has already been assigned, and the quantity to be assigned. In this case, we choose 10. Okay. And you can see 10 pieces have been added to this box. Then we go with another one. This time we use a cardboard plus 50 per 80. Again, add content. As you can see now, the difference is 22. Quantity total, quantity assigned already is 10 from earlier. So we are going to assign the remaining 12. We go OK. And we can see that it has assigned them the rest of the 12. Now, one thing I can do here is organize my handling units and put them on a pallet. Let's say now I have 3 wooden chests and 2 cardboard boxes. But now I can go and create a new handling unit and say we create a CHEP pallet, which also here generates an SCCC number. And now we can use this functionality of cut and paste to reorganize the structure of my packing list. For example, I could take the first wooden chest, go to cut, go to the CHEP pallet, and do a paste. And as you can see, this wooden chest is now part of this CHEP pallet. The same goes for the second wooden chest, also here cut and paste, and 1 cardboard box. Cut and paste. In this way, I can create a multi-level structure of my boxes or pallets or containers or whatever packaging material I use, and reorder them according to the way they are actually shipped. The same goes for another handling unit. Now this time we use another pallet. It's an E-pallet. Also here, I can go to cut, go to the E-pallet, paste, cut, and paste. And now my order is structured in 3 pallets. 1 arrives from, say, production. That's already defined the way the content is handled. 1 is a CHEP pallet containing 2 wooden chests and the cardboard box, and the remaining items are on the 3rd pallet. I can go now to close. And as you can see here, there's a new field, HU assigned quantity base, which indicates the quantity that on this line has been filled via handling units. I can go and drill down and see which handling unit has been assigned to this line and with what quantity. The same goes for all the other lines as well. Here comes the package 3, assigned 2 pieces of the back hub to this line. This is also governing the quantity to ship. That means if I assign a handling unit to a document, the system will automatically update my quantity to ship and also eventual item tracking if I have items handled by item tracking, and will update my quantity to ship accordingly. This helps in if I choose to use the packing list or handling units in general on a document, enables me to pilot quantities as well as item tracking directly through handling the packing list or the handling units. Also, we have a fact box here on the right, which gives a very brief overview of how many handling units and what are those numbers that have been assigned to the current document with the quantities and the items contained on them. To close, here we also have the ability to print this packing list. So when we go here, let's see, preview. A document is generated that contains the address, so the ship to address where this order is destined, the packing list, some basic information, and a list of contents. Here you can see all the pallets we have with the contents and each item that is contained thereon, and the quantities, and also a total per single packaging type. So we have 2 cardboard boxes, 430, 1 cardboard box, 5080, 1 chip pallet, 2 e-pallets, and 3 wooden chests. When I go on, stay on page. Okay, when I go on and post this document, choose ship. The quantity to ship obviously disappears. The handling unit quantity assigned also disappears because this is no longer handling units that are assigned to the document because they are now transferred to the shipment, and also all the handling units I have assigned disappear because they are now on the shipment. I can go to shipments. I open the shipment and I can see now the handling units are here on this document and the top level, so the pallets are all been marked as shipped because they are now on the shipment and no longer on the sales order. Also, I have the possibility to still print the packing list and get the same document, with the only difference being that now it's no longer referring to the order, but rather the shipment. So this is the shipment document number. The rest is identically the same as on the sales